Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team pick. Radiant team pick.
Queen of Pain.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Bounty Hunter.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Meatball!
Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Radiant team pick.
Imba Spirit.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Night Stalker.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Witch Doctor.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Lich.
Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team ban. Radiant team pick.
Dark Seer.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. 10 seconds remaining.
Bang.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
That's right, we're here at Secret versus MVP. The question is whether or not MVP could actually take on Team Secret, are definitely the favorites right now, especially due to some of their recent performances and some of the more lackluster performances by MVP. First, myself, Capitalist, joined by Blitz. Blitz, you know the MVP squad better than pretty much anybody else out there. What do you think?
I don't know about that, but we have a pretty long history. For some reason, Toby keeps scheduling me on every single one of their games.
MVP games,
Yeah,
always for Blitz Dota.
He keeps telling me it's a happy coincidence, but it keeps happening. But this is a team that definitely struggles when it comes to the ultra late game. It's always felt like that since our first inception into Korea. And so I think this is a team that really relies on having to have the mid-game snowball really well for them, and this game is no exception. When you're playing a hero like Queen of Pain against a hero like Meepo, you need to be snowballing to actually do something. I was told yesterday by No-Tail that this is a matchup which is just a dream scenario for Meepo, and it's really interesting how that's kind of changed, where Queen of Pain is such a strong hero, but now teams are willing to just last pick or second pick the Meepo just to hard counter it, and it's just a straight-up matchup win.
Yeah, I was actually having a conversation with C9 behind it. It was talking about it was MSS and Brax, and they're talking about whether or not the mid position is opened up more, and whether or not, like right now, sometimes you see the meta and it's going to be like Queen of Pain SF matchup again and again. But other times you get these like really interesting like Meepo pickups. We have a lot of other mids that are being seen. We just saw the Magnus. Of course, we're going to be seeing some early action here in the middle lane. Febby immediately taking away one of the early counter wards, but does take a lot of damage for it. Of course, that Tango eating ward is going to help out quite a bit. The idea of dual lanes, I guess, just to be able to offset the Bounty Hunter's roaming potential.
Yeah, this is a lane that's not going to go very well for the Bounty and the Ember Spirit, or it shouldn't, just because we can just spam out. The Lich is always here for defensive purposes to make sure that the Ember Spirit never has that Flame Guard available. I don't actually know how the offensive potential of this lane goes because it's just not a lane that I play very often or see. But I imagine the Ember or the Meepo does just fine. And once you hit a few levels, you should be okay too. Yeah, and this is Wee's most played hero too.
Especially with the Lich. Well, maybe they can go for the kill on Weehawk. They will be able to get the chains, and this is going to be your first blood. QO gets the right click, and Pylai Die. He's actually low enough they can get that kill as well until Puppey comes in, hits out the brain sap, but still, they got the first blood, and they shut down the Meepo. A good start for MVP.
That's absolutely pivotal, just because you devote a dual lane just to make sure that the Meepo does okay. And I was talking about the fact that the Meepo should be okay, and this is a matchup that we probably sees often. Then he immediately just goes down, and even in the top lane, you see Eternal Envy get completely zoned out by the Queen of Pain and this Witch Doctor. Ben was talking about it before, that he felt the Ember Spirit was going to struggle and the Queen of Pain might struggle, depending on how the laning phase goes, but MVP Phoenix, they seem to kind of have an understanding of what needs to be done to win these lanes.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems like the Doom shutting him down in those first two levels before you can actually start really ramping up in Scorched Earth. MVP Phoenix are putting a lot of pressure on that, which does leave our bottom lane. March is going to be playing the Darkseer up against, well, it doesn't really matter too much. Any melee hero is probably not going to have a great time versus Darkseer, but it is Misery's Night Stalker.
I almost feel like you should rotate off lanes because you need the Doom to have a decent start this game, and the Darkseer is just getting so much out of this laning phase. Like, every single player on MVP Phoenix is doing okay when it comes to the laning phase, and this is something that we didn't quite anticipate, and especially this bottom lane. Like, what is a Night Stalker meant to do against a Darkseer? Misery's trying his best, he brought Illusions over, but March is just gonna Ion Shell himself in one creep, and there ends any sort of harass that Misery can get off, and at the same time it just pushes the wave in over and over again.
Keen easily getting caught in the top lane. They just run him down, sleep, Scorched Earth, and well, what can a Queen of Pain really do against that regeneration? 24 a second. Can't really threaten the Doom enough to stop him from just going on that support.
24 seconds. That's so absurd.
Yeah.
I really can't get past that concept. And actually, it was you that told me first, where you felt like Doom was just a broken hero. And I remember that car ride, I was like, it's okay. The heroes, it's kind of balanced. It's not that picked in pro games yet, and I was completely wrong. I give it all up to you in that one.
The first pick Doom from Team Secret, Misery was praising it earlier. It's just the levels of Scorched Earth. What do you think about Febby, though? Rotating in, he's investing so much into trying to shut down this middle lane. He actually has another round of counter wards. They're going to go into QO here, who will be able to get some distance, and it looks like he's going to be able to get out. Pylai Die needs a couple more hits, and he's just not going to be able to get those. So at least they chase the Ember Spirit out, and we have that Meepo who now has his extra Meepo around, which means a lot easier time. Oh, top lane, Heen is going to go down, it looks like. Not enough regen there.
You in your death
quick blink back from our Queen of Pain. She'll be fine, but the Witch Doctor, once again, maybe it's time to switch these up. Maybe the Doom can't be stopped anymore.
I think it's more just the fact that Heen has to recognize that he's the weak link in this chain. That when it comes to the laning phase, he's the only hero that can really afford to die at top, because they know, Secret knows that the Queen of Pain can't really die, so they're not even going to devote their efforts. But it's a Witch Doctor. As long as you split, you don't let yourself get cast 4 or 5 times, you should be able to get the kill on the Witch Doctor, and that should have been evident after the first death. And it just took Keen a little bit longer, but I think after the second death, he should tell himself, I should just play back a little bit more. Our safe lane is going so overwhelmingly well when it comes to how much the Darkseer has, that all I have to really do is survive.
He's going to be caught inside the jungle. Our Queen of Pain. Oh no, the blink didn't go off in time. Beautiful setup and the deny on himself. Very well played by Meepo. Meanwhile, the Night Stalker actually managed to kill the Darkseer, and we had a small bit of action in middle lane. Febi's actually going to wrap around, but Pi, he's hugging this tower knowing that MVP very likely are going to try and go on him.
I actually can't believe that Misery just solo killed that Darkseer. That's so huge for his lane. He was getting beat pretty hard in CS, but managing to pick up that solo kill. Darkseer just played a little bit too upfront. Highlight die, just fine.
Forced out at least an extra TP that wasn't completed. Pain stays up in the top lane, but still 100 gold lost. But yeah, how did Misery manage to pick up that kill? That was very surprising.
It was just the Darkseer. He was so low, and Misery had 2 tangos or mangos to work with actually, and I mean, this laning phase was going okay for MVP Phoenix, but it feels like they're just individual errors that are costing them way too many deaths.
We've actually had a lot of people kind of theorycraft, you know, where does the mango belong? We've seen some offlaners, like in the previous patch, we would see Nyx Assassin, you know, pick up a mango and just try and buff up that regen a little bit. Obviously, the mana to fall back on in a critical moment is nice. Is double mango now the build? Both Doom and Night Stalker going for that? It seems to really benefit these strength yet mana-dependent heroes.
Yeah, it really helps on a hero like Night Stalker, where he's probably not going to go for the bottle just because Weeha's so dependent on that, and at top lane, as they're talking.
Is he going to be able to get it off the poop? It's going to get away. Weeha is perfectly fine. 4 heroes rotating up to that top rune to try and shut him out. They do get the Ember Spirit, the bounty rune. Darkseer claims the haste at bottom, which he's going to come in now. Goes for Weeha, but another poof, and March doesn't actually have an early level of vacuum, so nothing to stop that.
He doesn't have flame guard anymore.
He's run down by Misery. Will be able to pick up that kill. Misery's fast, but March is just a bit faster with a shuriken. They'll finish him off as well. So a trade-off, but I'm sure Misery is happy trading away his life to kill that mid farmer.
And they absolutely need that Ember Spear to get farmed in this game to be able to deal with the Meepo. Weeha just kind of so tricky playing against the Meepo because it's just not a hero that you see often. From my experiences in Southeast Asia, I don't remember a lot of pub stars that would play that hero either.
Oh, look at this! He feels so good about his position that even when he's kind of being gone on, he turns around, just dooms and tries to chase out the Queen of Pain. Now that's very clearly not going to be a kill on the Queen, but at least gives EE a bit time to farm up.
Just taking a look at the jungle right now, there aren't a ton of stacks available, if at all. Most of the support's timing from Secret side are just kind of devoted on the lanes, which I think is the right idea. Helping out Eternal Envy in this top lane and Highlight Die making sure that Weeha has a decent start in mid lane is probably your primary focus, especially since you've already killed the Ember Spirit twice. So it definitely is paying off.
Overall, who do you feel is winning the laning phase? Is the matchup, did they shut down the Doom enough? Is March getting enough out of his bottom lane to make up for the Ember Spirit's death?
No, especially not with the death. I think that they were playing it a little bit cleaner. MVP Phoenix would have been okay, but just too many individual mistakes were made, and at top, that Scorched Earth heal, you can't even bother ganking, and he might even go for the turnaround on Heen.
Now Scorched Earth is going to go down. Heen is going to be chased out by Misery though, and that'll be another kill for the Night Stalker. His rotational power just triumphing in these first 8 minutes of the game. Of course, that's going to be the end of the first nighttime, but you can definitely call it a big success for Misery.
Yeah, he's had so much impact already. He's got Phase Boots earned at just 8 minutes. He somehow neutralized Darkseer in the off lane, and did just fine in that lane, going as far as killing him. And I would have said that MVP Phoenix's laning phase was okay, if not for that top and the one in the bottom lane. But because of that, Secret are definitely going to get the better of the exchanges right now. And as long as this Meepo kind of continues to farm at the pace that he is, he should be okay too. 45 CS at 8 minutes is okay, considering he was dual lane. But this is just going to mean that MVP Phoenix is going to more heavily rely on the Bounty Hunter and his track potential. Like, he's about to hit level 6 right now, and once he does, then you really start to get the ball rolling. But it does mean that MVP Phoenix, you have to be ahead at some phase of the game for the track to mean anything.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you've just got a dead hero.
Yeah, Bounty Hunter just, unless you get that Trek gold, he really doesn't offer that much in the team fights. And it's a bit concerning to me that he's, you know, like he's about to pick up his level 5, 6 very soon. But that the Puppy has actually been left alone. Misery rotating around has actually given a solo lane to Puppy, and he's almost level 7 already. And Bane is a very good fighting hero if he's actually a little bit ahead in levels, because his stat gain is so tremendous, and that Brain Sap is an incredible turnaround potential.
It's just so hard to gank him or even go for the kill.
Oh jeez, double ultimates. Well, he's going to be run down by the Doom, but the Cask is going to slow him down. They manage to get the vacuum back, and the rest of the heroes will retreat, but because the Doom's the one taking up all the damage, Secret won't be giving up anything for that unless
so
he's
aggressive.
going to jump on it. We thought that's all his friend has flown. Very dangerous position for him. March is going to be able to get off that haste, and with the surge, he will get out. Misery runs up to the top rune, but kind of being guarded right now. Secret as a whole, they get a challenge for it. He managed to pick up the rune. Queen of Pain gets silenced up. Misery is going to be chased away, but it's nighttime still, so that darkness will make sure he gets out. So at least, well, he actually wants to continue here and see if he can chase down the Queen of Pain even further. There is no blink up. The TP in, maybe a turnaround. Oh, they're slowing him down. Brain Zap, not quite enough damage. 15 HP. Oh no, and the Fiend's Grip goes out, but it's already done. They've lost their damage as the Night Stalker goes down. QO chasing for Puppy. Well, what a big stun from EE as he managed to just almost finish off QO, but the physical damage isn't there. And Febby, he'll just go in. Visit the last ticket, but no, a counter ward and Brain Zap. Puppy finds the kill in the end. A trade-off. Bounty Hunter for the Night Stalker. Feels like a win for MVP, but only barely.
And you're talking about how Puppy could actually benefit from the levels right there, being able to get a full duration Fiend's Grip and get the Brain Sap. That could have been a lot worse for Team Secret, but being able to get a kill on the Bounty Hunter, I was about to say, was a really good trade for MVP Phoenix, especially if the Bounty gets out, because he almost gets his level 6 as a result of that trade. And this is so crucial for them right now, because you want, if you're MVP Phoenix, to be able to just run it Secret non-stop.
Oh, jeez, QO. He's actually going to go for the kill on Pylight. I misses the chains as Pi puts himself right next to the trees, and now the Doom goes off, and QO slowed down to a halt. He really thought he was going to be able to fight this. We've seen the power of the Darkseer Ember Spirit combination. We've Ion Shell as well as that Flame Guard burning away at heroes, but in that situation, the Doom just easily counters him.
I know QO, he's saying, how is Doom available again? He's like, didn't I just get doomed in the mid lane? But Eternal Envy, the rotations, 1400 gold to his name right now, doing just fine.
Alright, trying to slow him out, but dangerous, and Ion Shell creeps are chasing him away.
That was 3 Ion Shell creeps at one point. There's actually no hero at this phase of the game that can really fight that.
Yeah, even Eternal Envy pops a Scorched Earth, and he goes down to like 100 HP. As some of the Ion Shells were even fading QO. Shows himself in lane, and immediately Eternal Envy starts backing up. QO not going to play as aggressive as he did last time. Another 40 seconds until Doom, but they do have Fiend's Grip up, and they're probably feeling comfortable to go for this one. Puppy actually canceled the Fiend's Grip. Now thinking about going for it, but the chain stops him, and now the Rend goes out. They might be able to finish off Puppy before he gets off anything. There it goes. He goes down. Highlight Eye's going to be chased away. The Chain Frost actually bounces back to March, and QO will survive. March has to back up with a Night Stalker coming in, but Febby, he's going to go for the kill on Pylight Eye. The Shuriken actually bounced over to Misery, so he's committing heavily for the kill on March, but he managed to get the vacuum up. He's not going to die to that as the Queen of Pain comes in and wipes him out. Secret lose 4, an MVP strike big time in the top lane.
That was so close from the side of Secret right there. That could have been such a big fight for them. The Chain Frost bounces were so unlucky for them at top. QO was so close to popping, but Pylight just couldn't get the kill, and I mean, I thought the Darkseer was dead 100%. I didn't want to say anything because, that was just barely at the edge. You gotta feel for Misery in a situation like that, because he felt like he was just gonna get a solo kill, get out, but MVP, I mean, they were ready for it every single step of the way, and MP at the very end, being able to make the rotation up there, that's so huge for them.
Yeah, you could see Team Secret were holding on to a pretty good 3k gold, 3k experience lead before that, but pretty big change after that team fight. What do you think about March, the Vanguard build here for him? Why would you go for the Vanguard? I'm presuming Crimson Guard is next up. What's the value in that over the mech?
Oh, mid lane. Puppy's definitely gonna get Drop. Oh, he gets the deny off.
Oh, that's beautiful. Meanwhile, the bottom lane, March is also going to be gone on. They will easily corral him. There's just no escape. He doesn't even have a TP scroll up, so guaranteed kill there. Him down. Eternal Envy's actually going to challenge for this one as the TP comes in. He throws out the Doom onto the Queen of Pain. The rest of the TPs are going to try and silence QO, and they get him. He's not going to be able to remnant it away. He just gets popped real quickly as the Lich finishes him off. Weehaw almost landing that long-range Earthbind on the rotating out Bounty Hunter, but can't quite get it. In fact, he's 500 gold away from the Aghanim Scepter now.
I mean, MVP Phoenix, they just have to have crisp execution. You can't really get into those scenarios under a tier 1 tower mid and expect people not to TP in, especially when Secret knows they have the numbers advantage. It's a 4v5 fight, you're always going to take that. That's the best possible fight that you can take, and with a hero like Doom in your pool, you're pretty much getting rid of another hero altogether.
Yeah, so they did 3 versus 5 really easily.
You can't actually take that fight, so the better thing to do there is get out, reset, but Pyo uses his entire mana pool to actually jump forward when he could have just been able to get out on the other side of things, but gets caught by Misery, and even in the jungle right now, Keen should be dead 100%.
Yeah, surrounded by Meepos, unless the cast just happens to be really lucky. He missed one, but the Night Stalker gets the last nuke. They are going to start tracking some of these heroes, and they'll catch Puppy, it seems. So that'll be a track kill. Support for support, if you're able to get a track kill, feels favorable to MVP.
Yeah, last time Puppy was able to get the suicide off, but this time doesn't look like he's going to be able to.
Yeah, no sleep for another 3 seconds, so not a great opportunity there, QO. He's been perhaps a bit overly aggressive, dying 2 different times where maybe he shouldn't have, trying to fight the enemy, but doesn't seem to have slowed him down. He's still positioning himself very aggressively, but
and that's what makes QO QO. That's one of those things is, you think a player's too aggressive and you're just like, they temper down the aggression, would they really be the same player? Right. It's kind of like the Bamboo principle.
Then we wouldn't be able to see the big plays that they can make.
Exactly.
Right? You have to have both sides of the coin.
Could you really have Demon or Bamboo without, you know, without those clowny throw plays?
Yeah, without the throws, there will never be the big plays.
Exactly. You've got to take the highs with the lows.
So, okay, so we're going to have the Crimson Guard on the Darkseer and the mech on the Bounty Hunter, eventual Guardian Greaves, I'm sure. So we're going to have a lot of teamfight potential out of MVP, like a lot of sustain.
Yeah, I guess you could go for a pipe, but there's just so much pure damage that would go through that.
He's playing a very dangerous game. Couldn't. Oh, wait.
Dude, he's got dust available.
And he actually shows
that he's pretty fast, but he's going to get caught.
Oh, we managed to get both of them. Weehaw's going to be able to lock both of these heroes down. The Shuriken starts bouncing around and will be able to slow down some of them, but the Chain Frost still catches Bevy while Weehaw locks down Heen once again, throws out the ultimate, just tries to do whatever damage he can to these Meepos. Pylai Die able to get out as the Lich as the Queen of Pain commits that ultimate, but unable to get the kill as 2 heroes down on the side of MVP. Looks like they got the Bane. They're going to go for Misery next up as QO comes back into this fight, able to get the chains, but Eternal Envy's here, and he's going to be able to get the Doom off. Misery gets away with his extra movement speed, and the Queen of Pain ticking down from the urn goes as well. QO trapped inside. He's got the Doom on him.
Like crazy.
Reveal him. They're going to be able to catch him. The Doom silences for just a couple more seconds, and that's a wipe on the side. Weehaw also gets the Darkseer. MVP, who played brilliantly up in the top lane, just get trounced in middle.
I mean, they're trying to take fights with whatever they can, and they know they have the advantage of track, but it doesn't really matter if you're never ahead of these fights, and it's always Secret's lineup that's setting the pace, and that's what MVP Phoenix don't want. Like, you want your Doom to be able to get corralled up if you're MVP Phoenix, you want your Darkseer to lead with the Vacuum Wall, but every single time, they're just sending Weehaw in front. Net range is just so deceptive. Like, 1250 range, that's more than the Queen of Pain blink, I think. Just about. Actually, it's 50 short. 1300? Yeah, that's pretty absurd if you think about it. So if you're MVP Phoenix, and you see the Meepo, you're pretty much committed to a fight at that point, and it just doesn't feel like they are. Every single time they're taking 4v5 fights or 3v5, one hero's getting picked off, the other hero's getting doomed, all of a sudden your team fight's just completely lost.
Oh, Febby actually gets spotted here. Do they get close enough with the dust? It looks like they will. He throws out the track knowing he's not going to be able to get away with his invis, so the extra movement speed of the track does allow that instead. Now, the last time you actually saw this matchup, the Queen of Pain versus Meepo, you said that the Queen of Pain really needed to go the BKB, definitely not the Orchid, right? Do you feel the Aghanims is the nice, like, in-between item where it actually stats you up a decent amount, or do you really think BKB is such a necessity?
I think you still just die like you are in mid lane.
Yeah, they know they've got the Queen of Pain, so they draw the the Eternal Envy Doom onto March, getting the secondary kill, and this is just going to be them running over MVP. In fact, Febby may be caught as well. They're trying to catch up to him in the nighttime as Misery's movement speed, especially with the fight. He's going to go down, and he gets caught behind the tower as well. And that is now going to be not only the Aghanim Scepter for Weehaw, which we already seen that, but the Aghanim Scepter for Misery. After all these kills he's gotten, plus the tier 1 tower, he's only going to be like 100 gold short.
I mean, your Bounty Hunter threat has just been completely neutralized. Misery having that Aghanim Scepter, once he picks up a gem, the Bounty Hunter actually can't safely run around the map anymore. And I was talking about if you went for the Aghanim Scepter on Queen of Pain, it would be better. But the more that I think about it, what does it actually do for you? You're still going to go down relatively quickly. And more importantly than that, the damage increase barely does anything to the meat.
Yeah.
He's still going to just net you 4 times and kill you. And that's something that I guess I learned. If you go for the Orchid, doesn't do anything against the Meepo, you can't go for the straight BKB. That's almost just conceding the game. Because you've lost all of your late game potential. You have to eventually get it, but when you're playing against a Meepo as a Queen of Pain, there doesn't seem to be any real options for the Queen of Pain. It's just one of those matchup wins.
Can you explain a little bit the why Doom chose to get the Golem? Is this like a... Did he intentionally trade out, or was he just like, gotta get farm efficiency and there was Golems in front of him?
I saw that he just had Golems in front of him, for the most part. I don't see why you would prefer it over the Alpha Wolf if you saw one.
Yeah, or the Centaur stun, because you have the blink.
Yeah. I guess the being able to Doom and then immediately hurl Boulder would be okay. But yeah, as soon as he sees the creep, he's gonna swap out.
Oh god, he can't make it up. There's just too many stuns between the cast stopping that. No, still gonna go for this fight though. Eternal Envy on the front lines is gonna be able to Doom up the Witch Doctor, chases him away. Beans Grip, do they have any stuns to stop this one? Shuriken is approaching, that's why Puppy just cancels it. They get the chains on him, they're gonna try and burst him down, they get him! The Chain Frost starts bouncing around, they get the silence. Oh, he bounces back to Queen of Pain! Oh dear, he's just not getting away from all this frost damage and Misery. Just right clicks him down. QO though on the front lines, as always with the Ion Shell. He's almost gonna be able to get Puppy, but can't quite get him. Pops the wand, jumps away, but right into the waiting arms of Misery. Now March, he's gonna be the next target. They slow down Keen, cancel that TP, and Weehaw gives him the walk away. He's gonna leave him just for his allies to take down. He wants to be able to get March, which will be able to get it. Misery picks up the triple kill, and back over to Keen, which was just a waiting appetizer for Weehaw to finish off between the binds and the sleep. They get that kill as well. Another team wipe as Team Secret. They just gain a bit of momentum, and they just start steamrolling.
The weird thing is, if you look at the fight recap, the gold change is actually in favor of MVP Phoenix. Because of the buyback, and I think because of the track.
Okay.
But at the same time, it's just a momentum swing, the amount of experience that you gave up on the other side of things.
Yeah.
If you take a look at the XP earned, over 10k, the net worth isn't quite there yet, but soon to follow, especially with this Roshan attempt by Team Secret. And MVP Phoenix's lineup is just starting to run out of steam. This was a lineup that was designed to win the mid game and be able to snowball off of track. They just haven't been able to do so, and it just feels like the Doom pick plus the Meepo pick seemed to really hard counter MVP Phoenix's lineup.
All these heroes are just so tanky and have so much sustain, and plus they have got those disables. The Night Stalker, I think, was a great pickup for Team Secret. An additional shutdown hero to the Ember Spirit and Queen of Pain. That silence has been really a game winner. Misery really showing his prowess as an offlaner here in this game. He kind of keep him, oh, it's actually the Queen of Pain is going to be caught here. Doesn't have the ultimate, so no chance he can actually take off on Weehaw.
I mean, look at that. Just again and again, Weehaw's just so fearless right now. Gonna jump on a Febby. 1, 2, 3, 4 poofs. This should be able to get the kill. Dominating spree for him, and can't really stop the Meepo at this point, and even March at top. Envy's gonna go for the Doom.
Doomed up. Eternal Envy, he'll just walk down. There's just no way March actually has enough. Misery gets the kill in the middle lane. It looks like they caught the Witch Doctor. Wasn't sure if they're actually going to go for that one, but I mean, why wouldn't they? MVP, they didn't have any heroes up. It just starts with one pick off and it goes the next and the next. QO actually trying to challenge here, stops the TP, but that's not where you want to be. Silenced up and Highlight dying. He just throws out the Chain Frost because what else is, he's not going to get a better opportunity. You might as well throw everything you have at that Ember Spirit.
That's the second 5-man team wipe accomplished for Team Secret in the last like 30 seconds almost. It's almost like MVP Phoenix, they died as 5, they revived them, and they're just like, let's try that again. Maybe it'll go better this time around, we've still got track. That's what they're really relying on, but their lineup just feels like it's kind of run out of steam. You still gotta wait back into this game if you're Ember Spirit. be able to survive for at least a little bit. But when it comes to farm, there's just a little bit too much map control from Team Secret. I guess if you're MVP Phoenix, look for the track kills. Try to play passively for the time being while the Aegis is up on the Meepo. And just make sure that you don't get isolated by Weehaw. Because that seems to really screw them over, is that Weehaw finds one hero by himself, jumps on them, and then immediately has a Meepo in another sector, and just goes to the next and the next, and it just feels like MVP Phoenix, like again in this mid lane, they're just not comfortable playing against this aggression.
The one pickoff, Bounty Hunter is found. Wee is in a precarious position here as the Cask is going to bounce around. Nice sleep, and the Cask actually stops, meaning he's going to be able to get out. Puppey saves him beautifully with a defensive sleep. Now Weehaw, he's still going to end up dying with one of these meepos, but that is the main meepo, and that means I believe the Aegis, he's going to revive right here, and he's going to be able to poop right onto March, who his Fiends gripped it up, controls him with the grip, and looks like that's just going to be the only kill there as Team Secret take the Bounty Hunter at first, find the additional pickoff on the Darkseer, and move on to that tier 2 tower.
MVP Phoenix did manage to finally take the Aegis off of Weehaw, and for a second I just thought he was going to style on them, but he was unable to get out. This ultimate orb, I assume a Hex is soon to follow for Wee, and it's 24 minutes into the game. I don't really know how you deal with this if you're MVP Phoenix, but again, it just goes back to the fact that you've got level 2 track available to yourself.
No, Meepo. He has the Remnant up, QO locked in by the binds. He's going to be caught by Eternal Envy if he tries to jump to the Remnant, so he knows he's done for. They just throw out the Maledict onto Eternal Envy, but do they really have enough damage? Doesn't seem like it between these two supports, especially with Weehaw coming in. The Witch Doctor's already dead. And they got the dust. Vebby, he's going to be chasing to the base, and at this point, MVP, with their losing heroes inside of their own base, 25 minutes in, and they can't do anything to get a turnaround kill. I'm not sure how much longer they're going to be able to stay in this game. You would have the chance. Yep, there it is. With an Ember Spirit against a Meepo, maybe you would have the chance if he actually had a decent amount of farm, but the sad thing is, he still does not have anything close to that Battle Fury, which is obviously essential against a Meepo.
The problem is that when you have a hero like Ember, and then it immediately just gets countered by the Doom, you've got a core and Queen of Pain, it gets countered by the Meepo.
Yeah.
It just kind of felt like MVP, whatever they had to offer in the draft, just got immediately hard countered by Secret's lineup. But at the same time, just a few too many individual mistakes from MVP Phoenix